game features the University of Vermont Catamounts and your University of Maine Black Bears. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Garden Surplus and Salvage.
From Alfond Arena in Orono, Maine, this is America East basketball. It will be below zero tonight. It's a perfect time for beach night here at the University of Maine as the Black Bears host the Vermont Catamounts. As we take you to the America East standings, Vermont took a share of first place with a win on Friday over Stony Brook. Maine trying to prove they belong in the top half of the America East standings. And we welcome you courtside here at Alfond Arena alongside Frank Sullivan. I'm Eric Freed. Vermont, the defending America East champions, have been very consistent in getting to the top of the standings. Maine has been very inconsistent, trying to find some consistency here midway through the season.
Yeah, for the Catamounts, Eric, really at an important juncture this season. Huge wins at home against Stony Brook and Albany. Now they finish the first round of league play with 3 on the road. So it starts tonight for them, proving to themselves they're road tough. For the Black Bears have led the conference in scoring all season long. 2 of the top 10 scorers, 2 of the top 5 rebounders in the league, just have not been consistent at the defensive end.
Time to go one-on-one. The leading scorer in America East will be on the floor tonight. It's Justin Edwards for Maine, and Brian Vokel does a lot of everything for the Catamounts.
Yeah, well, Brian Vokel already top 10 all-time at Vermont in assists, rebounds, steals. Couldn't care any less about scoring. Multitude of intangibles on the floor. Justin Edwards, one of the most electric young players in the America East Conference. Elusive as he attacks the rim, uncanny passing. And Eric, pay attention anytime he has the ball. Highlight reel ready to happen.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Kron's. Come ready or never start. The starting 5 for the Catamounts. 12-6 on the season. Sandro Carissimo, Camden Rusin, Brian Vokel, Clancy Rugg, Ethan O'Day, the freshman, the starting 5. For Maine, Justin Edwards, a little bit of a change here tonight. Xavier Pollard out for violation of team rules, so Sarko Valjerovic is in the starting 5, his first career start. John Vesna, Alistair Frazier, and Mike Allison, the senior. Frazier and Allison very strong on the interior. John Becker in his second season as Vermont's head coach won the America East Championship last season, 36 wins in his 2 years in Burlington. Ted Woodward is in his 9th year as Maine's head coach with 107 victories. Our officiating crew here tonight: Paul Fea, Bill McCarthy, Rob Riley, set to call this game from, I'm going to say this, very warm and cozy Alfond Arena. It's 5 degrees outside right now at first tip. Usually it's cold in here too, but the heat is on. We're ready. Vermont in the road black, Maine in the home white, and we're underway here at Alfond Arena. Clancy Rugg coming off a double-double in the win Friday against Stony Brook, feeds it to Vokel.
You can see there Brian Vokel getting in the low post, looking to pass the ball out of the low post. And you're right, Eric, what a game Clancy had in that win over Stony Brook on Friday night.
Carissimo kicks it outside, 6 on the shot clock. Rustin, who had equally as strong a game against Stony Brook, can't hit his first attempt. Went for a career-high 25 in the win against Stony Brook. First possession for Maine. Here's Edwards. How do things change here tonight with Pollard, their point guard, out of the mix?
Well, Justin Edwards can play the point. They've got 2 great shooters. There's Zarko for the first 3.
And he knocks it down in his first career start. The sophomore from Serbia, who attended Notre Dame Prep, his 17th career game, and a good start for Maine.
Yeah, and John Messler can make the 3 as well. So they've got 2 excellent 3-point shooters with a very good ball handler for Maine in the backcourt right now.
For a Maine team that has not been good shooting the 3, 9th in the 9-team America East at 27%. Vokel feeds it to the freshman. O'Day had it knocked out of the hands of Vokel when he gave it back.
You can see the typical defense on Brian Vokel. Give him a cushion.
Rugg with 5 on the shot clock. Allison very good defensively, but Rugg found a way, and he has been finding a way game after game for the Catamounts.
As you can see, they're good pivoting skills, good under control against a very good defender. As you mentioned, Mike Allison, the all-defensive team in the America East Conference last year, 44 white.
Valjerevic feeds it to Allison, showing some of his offensive ability. The double team comes from O'Day, and Vermont has it. He's to Vokel, Vermont on the run. O'Day helped Vokel find an alley to the basket for his first two.
Pretty simple fast break, just run the wing and get an easy feed. Maine can't be happy with that first possession of defensive transition. Too easy to score.
Knocked away. Carissimo has it for Vermont. Rooston out and running up ahead as Carissimo will bring it back out to Vokel. Now Clancy Rugg, open three. No good. Vokel called for the foul.
Yeah, and they got lucky on that one. Again, not a good defensive transition for the Black Bears. Got an open shot right there. Catch a break in the rebounding weak side.
126th meeting all time between these two New England rivals. Maine has won 69 of the meetings, but Vermont has won the last 4 and 11 of the last 12. It was a clean sweep a year ago. Vermont went 3-0, capped off by a win in the quarterfinal round, 50-40. Maine had a 7-point lead in the second half of that game. Mac Glass led the way for Vermont with 16 points. Alistair Frazier showing his range, the junior from Scotland, averaging 13.5 a game.
Yeah, you can see what he'll do. He won't just stay in that parking spot near the rim. He'll pop out to the baseline, good open shot. John Messner, nice assist.
Carissimo defended by Edwards, and off of Zarco, out of bounds. Vermont basketball just about 3 minutes in here at Alfond Arena.
You know, for the guys in white, they're happy to see man-to-man. Defeated by Binghamton on Saturday, saw zone the whole game.
Easy look for Rooston, who knocks down a 3. So Rooston gets the 3 after that 25 Friday night.
Yeah, and Canyon, this is what they've been waiting for. Transfer from Marist for him to really get his legs under him and be the three-point shooter everybody in the Catamount program knows that he is.
In his first year playing for Vermont, Frazier with a good quick move on the inside for 2.
Yeah, we've just seen 2 offensive possessions, Eric. The versatility of Ali Frazier there with the back to the basket, good pivoting skills, the baseline jumper on the possession before, a very skilled big man.
I don't think the ball was through the basket before Becker turned and got Ben Krenka to come off the bench. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Maine basketball. And here comes Big Ben, the senior from Exeter, Rhode Island, 6'10", 260. Battled injuries throughout his career. Find a good little role here, providing some size on the inside for Maine, for Vermont.
Yeah, as we saw early, Alistair Frazier, when he catches it, the Catamounts are coming with that double team. The big body of Ben will really help that double team be more successful. Watch it right here. There's the double.
Edwards, a leading scorer in the league, left open, can't get it. And it was knocked out of bounds by Vermont, Maine basketball.
You see Brian Vokel there, number 1 in the black, has led this league in rebounding the last 2 years, his first 2 in the league. Uncanny ability to find the ball, and a lot of it is just him being active. Rocket starts at the defense and the offensive end to pursue the ball, Brian Vokel.
Vokel 3rd in the conference in rebounding this year, 3rd in assists, 6th in steals, 2nd in assist to turnover ratio.
As we said, they're seeing man-to-man now, so I think they're a little more comfortable as the double team came quick.
That 3 is short and heading out of bounds, and it will be Vermont basketball when we come back to Alfond Arena. Early going on, wait for it, beach night here at Alfond. Perfect. I see zinc oxide on the noses. I see the lays on the necks. Everything is perfect here for 5-degree night. Back in a moment.
Stony Brook's a really unique institution. We're one of the best public universities in the country. We're really about academic excellence. We're a research institution, so we care about generating new knowledge. And we're also really committed to economically disadvantaged students. I don't really think you could find the combination of an outstanding location right near New York City, great academics, and exciting athletics as well that Stony Brook offers. I'm Sam Stanley. Stony Brook is my school. America East is my conference.
see. I can be anywhere at all, coming close to finding you. We can do anything, anything at all.
You know, it's a long, cold winter here in the great state of Maine, so you make the heat any way you can. So the promotion tonight is beach night, and I must say the students here have gone all out. It's not just the students, but we see beach umbrellas, we see the sunglasses, we see a little bit of everything. Frank and I had real flowers lays, like real ones, but it's 16 below in Madawaska right now, so our flowers froze. But there you get an idea. Like when it's cold around the state of Maine like this, when it's 9 below in Fort Kent, when Madawaska's making a run at International Falls, Minnesota, they're coming for you, Minnesota. You know it's a perfect night for beach night. Allison with the rebound out of the timeout, off the miss by Rusin, and here come the Black Bears.
The Black Bears can get going here. This is where they're at their best, up-tempoing it off a defensive board. Good reaction right by Allie Frazier there. Saw the double team, went to his counterpart, and again, showing his versatility, get away from the rim, make some mid-range game.
Frazier has got off to a good start here today. He's one of the top players in the conference. Ranks 9th in scoring, 2nd in rebounding, 2nd in blocks from Falkirk, Scotland. Quite the international flavor on this team, all 5 starters. From outside of the United States borders, they have 9 players in all that are international players. Rugg leans in, couldn't get it to go, sticks with it on the offensive glass and drew the foul.
Just a good putback right there. Mike Allison, 44, was guarding Clancy Rugg in the corner, made him put the ball on the floor. Clancy to his right hand there. A good bounce to get his own shot and put it with the right back. Watch, he makes him a driver to his right hand, puts it on the floor, just doesn't get the block out on the shot. Clancy left unattended, and a good pump fake right there that the crowd buys, puts himself on the line.
Rugg at the free throw line, rattles in the first.
It's a time to talk about him being a walk-on in this Catamount program.
Well, he has really developed into a player that has filled up the stat sheet, 19 and 15 in the win against Stony Brook. Really has thrived under John Becker. Becker in his 2nd year. Rugg getting some extended run and just proving that he could play at this level. I think his teammates knew he could play at this level. They were joking today at shoot-around about we just had to convince him to shoot, that it was okay to shoot.
Unusual. Mr. Basketball in the state of Vermont, too, so it's even a neater story, the fact that he was Mr. Basketball in the state.
Second chance for Maine. Edwards.
Yeah, Brian Vokel, good job staying low and keeping his shoulders at the dribble level. Great matchup here in the top. Justin and Brian Vokel.
Trey Blue is on the court. Edwards held it. Couldn't finish it though, and it's ripped away by Krenka. Blue is on as well as Josh Elbaum for Vermont. Elbaum 14. Vokel gets it for 2. 4 points for Brian Vokel. Again, scoring is not his thing, averaging 6 points a game. That's 6th on the team.
Catamounts again getting some offense out of their early run down the court. Brian, a good move with his right hand off the dribble.
Frank extending the defense because Frazier has shown in the early going he's not afraid to shoot from the outside.
There's the double. Ball's got to move quicker out of the double to take advantage of the weak side.
Allison catch and shoot for 2.
And you can see Mike Allison, counterpart at the 4 spot to Allie Frazier. He too has this mid-range game. Both are very, very skilled players, as we've talked about.
Good start for Maine, 5 of 10 from the floor. When Maine is good, they can play with anybody in the league. When they're hitting their shots and when they make their shots, they're more engaged on defense. It'll be interesting to see if they can sustain that.
Exactly, they've been a good rebounding team all year.
Blue with the drive for his first 2, averaging 8 points a game off the bench.
That's too easy, no help side defense. Men on the weak side hugging their men rather than helping to the rim. Trey Blue took advantage of that opportunity.
And as Frank talked about at the top of the telecast, as the 3-pointer is off the mark, Blue grabs it. This play there by Zarco because there's going to be an easy 2 the other way for Vermont. Drop down to Edwards, left hand for 2.
That's his strength, man. He gets near that rim. He's got this finishing ability to either hand, moves his ball nicely, Justin Edwards. Now the Black Bears go to zone for the first time.
Rugg takes it at Allison for 2.
Terrific play by Clancy, flash to the high post. Pivoted and went right to his right hand. Should have been challenged just a little bit more at that rim.
5 points now for Rugg, 4 for Vauquel, 3 for Rusin. Edwards, 3 on the way, rattles in for 2.
Textbook, yeah.
His second field goal.
Textbook inside-outside passing. See the double team in the post, throw opposite, catch and shoot.
Inside of 12 to play here in the first half. Blue, very good three-point shooter, knocks down his first 3. 37% from outside the three-point line.
Trey Blue, a transfer, just like Camden Rusin we saw in the starting lineup. Both have reputations as deep shooters.
Blue played his last 2 years at Illinois State, was at Fordham before then. That won't go. Allison couldn't get the tip, and Rugg couldn't hold the rebound, and it will be Maine basketball when we come back to Alphon Arena. Good crowd on hand here at Alphon, and Maine has responded on the floor. It's a 1-point game here in the first half as Maine takes on the team that shares first place in America East. Back here in Orono, Maine on beach night at the Alphon, Vermont with a 1-point lead over Maine, but the Black Bears hanging tough, making shots here in the early going, 7 of 14 from the floor, including a couple of three-pointers, and Justin Edwards playing the point here today, but getting involved in more ways than one.
John Messner to the rim right there, a little dish off, and you can see his ability to finish with his weak hand. And this is what's necessary. Anytime you double team the post, the offensive team has to get the ball out of that post and reverse it. Justin bangs out that three-pointer.
He has been the Maine Bear, leading the conference in scoring, a 3-time America East Player of the Week this season, leading the conference in scoring and in steals. Came off a 12.6 rebound game against Binghamton. That game was played in Memorial Gym. Foul on Vermont out of the timeout. But that was a loss for the Black Bears against Binghamton. 57-56 was the final. As Maine comes here tonight, Ted Woodward looking for a response from his team after disappointing game on Saturday, and so far he has to like what he sees on the offensive end. Defensively is a work in progress.
Another freshman in the game right now, 25, Trey Gloger in that low post again.
And he is fouled and will go to the free throw line.
I said again for Justin Edwards, his ability to get in the lane. He's a terrific passer. And you can see this one right here. Knows he's got a freshman big man in the game, gives him a room service pass that Trey Gloger just couldn't finish.
Trey Blue picks up the foul, so Gloger, the freshman from Germany, heads to the free throw line, can't make the first free throw. 9 foreign-born players on this Maine team. accounting for 78% of the scoring. That's the most in Division I. Gonzaga second at 66%. That research courtesy of St. Bonaventure's Sports Information Director, Jason McBain, who looked through the rosters. And Maine's at the top of the list. They have really gone international here to build this roster, including Edwards, who's from Ontario. Tied at 17.
This is what the Catamounts do best. They execute their half-court offense, a multitude of different things in that set.
Frazier grabs a rebound. And Vermont will do it with different combinations on the floor, Frank. Now we see Brendan Kilpatrick, freshman from Pennsylvania, on the floor. Carissimo's back out there. Ballou stays out there. You've got Krenka and O'Day. A lot of moving parts for this Vermont team. A lot of guys will play a lot of minutes. That's good for 2 for Till Gloger. His first field goal, he has 3, averaging 3 a game. 12th lead change already in this first half.
And a great job by the Black Bears. Went inside, went outside, went opposite, went inside again to Till Gloger. A real nice finish. Good offensive possession.
Carissimo, good shooter, knocks down the 3. Sandro Carissimo. You need a big shot at a big moment. He'll take it and usually deliver it. We saw that in last year's American East Championship game. His first points here tonight, averaging almost 10 a game. John McCallion is on as well for the Black Bears. John Meskina, the junior from Germany, makes his first 3-pointer. So both teams getting contributions from a variety of players.
And John doing the exact same thing we saw Justin do before. Take the inside-out pass and convert it to a 3-point shot. Black Bears are not going away from the post, even though they're double teaming down there.
Kind of an off-balance shot by Trey Blue, but somehow it found a way to go down, and Blue has 7 points to lead Vermont scoring.
Trey, good contributions coming off that bench. This Vermont team is deep, and they have people that can come in and contribute points like that.
Frazier is hot tonight.
Well, what's left for him to show us? His low post moves, his mid-range jumper just showed us his 3-point shot, and he's one of the best rebounders in the league, by the way.
He's now 5 of 12 this season from outside the 3-point line after he knocked down that 3-pointer. Let's show you what Alistair Frazier has done here tonight. 3rd-team All-America East last year.
There's that mid-range from the baseline off the pitch. There's the back-to-the-basket move going to the other side of the rim to finish. An inside-out pass from his counterpart in the power positions, Mike Allison, for another one. And I'll just put some icing on the top of this by nailing a 3 that was almost nothing but net. This guy is durable, Alistair Frazier, reliable, 32 minutes a ball game for the Black Bears. Agile, skilled, 30th in the country last year in field goal percentage at 54. Currently, I think he's 4th in the conference in field goal percentage, and one of the best in the league offensive rebounding.
9 points for Frazier to lead all scorers. Frazier with 9, Edwards with 5. 3 each for Meskina, Valjerevic, and Gloger, 2 for Allison.
Woodward coming out of the timeout with an aggressive double team out of the zone defense. Right away, they double teamed the first pass.
Sean Lawton, freshman from New York, on for the Black Bears. Carissimo, open 3, in and out. Rugg inside for the putback.
Well, there's a couple possessions that we've seen where Clancy has not been blocked out, and he got his good hands, good bounce. He'll finish those things in tight.
You don't have to look back too far to see Rugg being effective on the glass. 15 rebounds in his last game against Stony Brook. It's out of bounds, and officials say it will remain Maine basketball.
Clancy 19th in the league in scoring, 15th in rebounding. Coach Becker really has developed this young player, as we talked about. Why not?
Frazier, open 3.
Great execution of a baseline. He's happy. A baseline out of bounds play. Screener pops back. Ali Frazier.
Rugg down the lane is fouled. Clancy Rugg will go to the free throw line, but Frazier, he's all pumped up. Give him the ball.
3 for 3 now in field goal attempts. Good double right there. A nice finish to the rim. And getting to the free throw line. This Vermont team, Eric, is one of the best in the country in the volume of free throw opportunities relative to their possessions. This has been a significant part of their success this year on offense. The volume of times they've been on the line and the number of times that they've converted at the free throw line.
See Ruggs' numbers on the season. He was 11 of 16 from the free throw line in the win against Stony Brook last time out, already with 9 first half points as he makes both free throws. And the Catamounts are within 2.
Change of defense now for the Catamounts, going to the 1-3-1 high, just to give a different look to the Black Bears. You can see they're spaced out wide now, not as tight as they were in the man-to-man. Good deflection.
And they get a turnover out of the zone, and it is a foul on Maine.
Good deflection by Clancy. You know, when you see a wide defense like that, you've got to pass first, as we say. Fake a pass, make a pass. That one right there was too easy to deflect. Good minutes for Till Gloger. And that's the contributions. They haven't been as deep as they hoped that they would be in the front court. Till doing a nice job right there as the first big man in, getting Mike Allison back in the game now.
2 fouls on Gloger. That's why he heads to the bench, and Allison comes in. Here's Vokel up top. The feed to O'Day, the quick turn, couldn't score, and Allison has the rebound. Sean Lawton averaging 14 minutes a game in 13 appearances this season. Played just 10 minutes against Binghamton. Obviously a little bit more of him here tonight. Allison couldn't get it as Rugg went down, and Vermont comes away. Vokel. To O'Day. Clancy Rugg. Inside of 8 minutes to play, first half. Rusin back on the floor for Vermont.
Got him out with good ball movement. Ball screen for Sandro.
Rusin goes to the left hand. Won't go down for him though, and it's ripped away by Frazier.
You can see Frazier on that possession. Mike Allison on the possession before defense, doing an excellent job finishing the defensive possession by getting the defensive board.
Now you see Frazier draws a crowd up, and that leaves Allison open.
What a pass. What a heads-up play by the big fella.
Maine is getting what they want on the offensive end. Now let's see if it fuels them on the defensive end.
Good help right there by Alistair Frazier. You can see Mike Allison with good help from the weak side.
Vokel, Rugg, passed on an open 3. Will try the 2 and get it.
Well, I guess he's feeling his own. Shot fake, tried to drive it, used his pullback dribble nicely. Got his balance, didn't travel. Good job by Clancy again offensively. Catamounts now back to man-to-man.
Valjurevich back into the game, and Frazier cannot miss. 14 points for Alistair Frazier.
Yeah, I think he's feeling it right now, and very challenging for his defensive matchup in man-to-man because he's got so much movement. Popping out, popping behind the three-point line, scoring in the low post. He's a tough cover right now for the Catamounts.
Rugg. Vokel will try a 3. Looked good, wouldn't go down, and now Lawton comes away. Lawton gets it back. Carissimo there defensively.
Sean Lawton has done a good job in the backup point guard spot this year.
But called for an offensive foul here as taking the charge was Clancy Rugg. That'll get us to the timeout. Frazier's been doing it with the scoring, and how about an assist to Mike Allison on the inside, and the Black Bears are on top by 4.
When I took the job at Binghamton University and somebody asked me why Binghamton University, I said because Binghamton University gets it. Because we are growing, we can provide more opportunities for students to go to Binghamton University. I think it's a public university's mission to educate as many students as they possibly can. It's a beautiful campus, hardworking people, outstanding faculty, and you'll make some great friends here that you'll have for the rest of your life. I'm Harvey Stenger. Binghamton University is my school, and America East is my conference.
The 2013
America East Lacrosse Championship.
One place.
One place.
One place.
One goal.
One goal.
One goal. If you can play at Binghamton.
If you can play at Albany.
If you can play,
you can play at Hartford.
If you can play, you can play at Maine.
If you can play, you can play at Stony Brook.
If you can play at UMBC.
If you can play at Vermont.
If you can play at New Hampshire.
If you can play at Boston University.
America East is proud to join the You Can Play project.
Good one here, first half at the University of Maine. The Black Bears on top of Vermont by 4. Do you have something you want to know about America East basketball? Tweet your question to @AmericaEast. Be sure to use the hashtag AEHoops. We will choose a tweet and have Frank answer the question later in the game. And as we make clear every single time, nothing's off limits. Something's off limits here tonight, though, for Vermont. Luke Apfeld, unable to play. You see the left foot in a boot. Still looks like a couple of weeks, a week or two before he'll be able to play. Number 2 scorer for this team at 10 points a game, and he's really had a good year for this Vermont squad.
And didn't get in the Stony Brook game the other night, but you know, the bench development is always a primary fundamental for Coach Becker, and he's always believed in his substitutes, and they have responded without Luke Apfeld in the lineup.
Vauquel drew the contact and will go to the free throw line.
Brian Vauquel again, just doing little things to get tight to the rim. This time putting the ball on the floor, getting to the free throw line. Usually about 3 or 4 free throws a game for him. But breaking down the defense off of the dribble, one of the biggest strengths that he has. We talked about his unselfishness, his uncaring about scoring points, and caring about setting up other people. And that was a good illustration. Even though he got fouled, he was trying to break the defense down with his right hand as he got into the lane.
Vauquel makes 1 of 2, and Allison pulls down the rebound. Black Bears are now +7 in rebounding margin in this game here, Frank.
It's a double high ball screen for Justin Edwards. Loses balance, but he finishes by going to the rim.
Oh, accelerated, couldn't get it to go down. Gets back into play and drops it down to Allison, who can't score, but Frazier, who hasn't missed yet tonight, finally misses one.
Unfortunate. That was a great sequence of offensive rebounding. And I meant to mention there was going to be at least 3 or 4 look-away passes in this game, either from Justin Edwards or Brian Vauquel.
One we saw from Allison. Rugg turns it over. Traveling violation.
This is what you want if you're the Black Bears. You're coming off a great possession. Watch the move to the rim. The offensive rebound kept alive by Mike Allison. Justin comes out, passes the ball right with the look away. Mike can't finish. Allie with the rebound. A great sequence. It's a shame they couldn't finish it.
O'Day extends it out on Allison. Here's Edwards. So that was Frazier's first miss. He's 6 of 7 from the floor.
You can see Catamounts now going to front Alistair in the low post.
That's going to be a foul on Meskna. Good defense by Vermont. And the foul called will be number 6 on the Black Bears. Meskna goes to the bench with his first personal.
Yeah, John Messner just a little frustrated right there, but he's been a big addition coming out of junior college for this Black Bear team with his ability to shoot from behind that three-point line at 42%.
The lob to Rugg and an assist for Vauquel. That is his 3rd assist of the first half.
Yeah, some loss of vision by the defender on Clancy, but you can see when you don't put pressure on Brian Vauquel, he gets to see everything cutting to the rim and can thread the needle on that pass.
Frazier has 4 assists, by the way, Frank. Edwards picks up the loose ball, accelerates to the basket, but good defense again by Vermont. Vauquel keeps it in control. Carissimo open 3, and the Catamounts have responded here in Orono. Timeout called by Maine.
That is the luxury of having a player like Brian Vauquel, who is the small forward, can push it and set up the team's point guard for a 3-point shot as Sandro buries that one.
Well, he is the perfect definition of a glue guy for this Vermont team when you think about all the things he has done. And he's been encouraged to score more, but it's hard to find fault with what he does because he does so many other things well.
You know, he started every game at Vermont. I don't think he's ever been injured in the time that he's been there. But watch this play. The hands to get that steal. The heads up with the dribble in the open court and put my point guard behind the three-point line and I'll get him the basketball. How about that? 2 high school teammates. They've played a lot of ball together, these 2 lads.
Iona Prep.
Yeah.
6-0 run here for the Catamounts. They're trying to take Frazier out of the rhythm of this Maine offense. He has delivered with 14 points on 6 of 7 shooting, 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Now Edwards looking for contact, but instead called for the travel.
Yeah, sometimes that happens when you look for contact. You wind up traveling or picking up that pivot foot.
That's 6 turnovers now for the Black Bears. And when we come back, Vermont will go on the attack, trying to build on a 6-0 run here in Orono. Well, the band all dressed up for beach night. Although that may be what they normally wear. No, I think they wear the rugby shirt, but you get the drift. They're ready for it here in Orono. You can earn rewards just for supporting America East. Download the free Enthuse app for the iPhone or Android and start collecting points by checking in at games or completing challenges with other America East fans. Then redeem your points for America East gear, tickets, and more. Vermont basketball on the road, Black on a 6-0 run as we approach 3 minutes to play here in the first half.
Keep their heads up out of it. Last timeout, Maine came with the double team. Not this time after the timeout.
Carissimo. Worked around for Trey Blue. Blue gets the screen, tries to move on Frazier. Now Bokel.
Same deal, trying to break the defense down with his dribble.
O'Day knocks it down. Freshman from Mansfield, Connecticut. His first points, averaging 5.5 a game.
So much enthusiasm for Ethan O'Day in Catamount country in terms of his potential for the future.
Edwards defended by Bokel. That's our one-on-one here tonight. Edwards goes baseline. Loger couldn't get it. Frazier offensive rebound and the finish.
What hands and what agility. He rebounded that ball almost out of balance, recovered it, and found himself a nice shot. What a first half for Alistair Frazier.
16 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists for Frazier. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Been entertaining in front of a great crowd here at Alfond Arena. Bokel gets the screen.
Same thing, he's breaking the defense down with that dribble. Got to keep him out of the lane.
Calling for it up top. Passed on the 3. Rugg. Can't get it, but Bokel, easy offensive rebound.
Yeah.
It was looking to pass, and if he looked to his left a little bit, he had a layup.
You know, we saw the freshman there, Till Gloger. He closed out to Brian Bokel. Didn't get the block out to him, and you got to know that his best effort rebounding-wise, we see Alistair Frazier. His best effort, Brian Bokel, is always on the offensive rebound. He moves before the shot hits the rim. He's in motion. So if you're in his neighborhood, you've got to try to block him out or get in his path one way or the other so he can't get that extra possession, as he's done time and time again for the Catamounts.
3 substitutes ready to come in for Vermont. Elbaum is in, Krenka comes in, and Kilpatrick will come in on the dead ball. Rugg goes to the bench. Carissimo checks out. Rusin's on the bench. Now, generally, depending on foul trouble, as a head coach, Frank, would you keep your best 5 on the floor in the final minute and a half, 2 minutes of the half, or is that kind of indicative of what Vermont does, that he likes to think of his guys as interchangeable pieces?
Yeah, well, they've only got 3 team fouls right now, so you try to go into the half with some momentum. So if that's the best group that you think can generate momentum going into that locker room, good decision.
Gloger, and a foul was called inside. That's going to be the 4th team foul on Vermont. O'Day picked it up, Frank.
Yeah, this is where they've got to do a better job on these baseline out of bounds plays. No easy catch and shoot plays. Good job right there.
Thrown out top to Lawton. 1:20 to go in the first half. Vermont on top by 3.
That's where the Black Bears want to use some clock, get the best available shot.
Frazier. It's been a little tougher for him in the last couple of minutes outside of that putback he had. Lawton with the floater. That won't go. That's O'Day fighting on the inside, and he was fouled, and he'll shoot a 1-on-1 on the other end.
Yeah, Till Gloger doesn't quite get it, but we see 2 freshmen right there, Till Gloger and Ethan O'Day, just competing for that rebound right there.
Stay tuned for the America East halftime report. We'll have the first half numbers. We'll take a look back at a very successful fall for many America East schools. That is all coming up on the America East halftime reports. So 1-on-1 now for the freshman Ethan O'Day, 65% free throw shooter. Valjerevic comes back on for Maine.
Might get a good
Lawton checks out.
Might get a good catch and shoot opportunity for Zarco. Ethan O'Day has mainstreamed very nicely as a freshman at UVM. Starter in 16 out of 18 games.
5-point lead for Vermont. It's their largest of the game. We've had 15 first half lead changes and some more good defense from the Catamounts. Elbaum brings it back the other way for the Catamounts now with 45 to go in the first half. Trey Blue kicks it to O'Day. O'Day trying to work on Frazier. Finds the cutting Elbaum, drops it down the Krenka for 2.
Boy, that was beautiful. Josh Elbaum having the sense to back cut to the rim and finds the senior captain, Ben Krenker, tight to the rim. Another good play by Josh.
Elbaum takes it away. Shot clock is off, but now coming back on it was Valjerevic for Maine. Edwards across half court with 12 to go in the first half. Five to go. Edwards leans in. Tough shot, but he knows how to make the tough ones. And that's the end of the first half. It ends with a field goal made by Justin Edwards. It's a 2 for Edwards. We'll watch one more time. Foot on the line. The officials will take a look at the monitor just to confirm that it was a 2. We can see as he took a step in, leaned in, and that is the proper call. So a 2 for Edwards. As the officials take a look at it, right now it's 41-35 on the board, and again, it's confirmed 2-pointer for Edwards to end the first half. So we come to the end of the first half. A lot of scoring in that opening frame. Pretty entertaining first half. 41-36 our score at the break, and we're joined now by Vermont Associate Head Coach Chris Markwood. Chris, what stood out for you in the first half? What did your team do well, and what would you like them to do better in the second half?
Well, I think first off, Maine, they came out and they really shot the ball well. I thought we were a step slow on the defensive end. So the big thing for us, moving forward in the second half, and what I thought we did a good job of to end the half was we got to play with more energy on the defensive end. We really got to pick it up on that end. I think at one of the last TV timeouts, they were shooting 59% from the floor. For us, that's a big issue because we're a very good defensive team, only giving up about 39% in the season. So we really got to pick it up on that end. I thought offensively, we battled through that. We started to play with more pace. As we started to get some stops, we were able to get out in transition, start getting a nice flow on the offensive end.
Chris, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Chris Markwood, former standout player at the University of Maine, here on this court, now an assistant for Vermont. Vermont with the lead at the break here in Elton.
Students who are attracted to the University of Vermont are independent thinkers who quite frankly want to leave here and make a difference in people's lives. We want to make sure that our students have the highest quality experience academically, intellectually, socially, and culturally. Our students can move mountains after they leave here with a University of Vermont degree. I'm Tom Sullivan. Vermont is my school, and America East is my conference.
There's a place in the Green Mountains where leading scholars push students to reinvent
a complicated world.
Where success comes hard,
but is hardly uncommon.
Where people reach across boundaries
and develop the courage that leads to discovery and understanding. Where being curious isn't a curiosity. Where by sitting down to learn,
you stand up to live.
If you can play at Binghamton.
If you can play at Albany.
If you can play at Hartford.
If you can play at Maine.
If you can play at Stony Brook.
If you can play at UMBC.
If you can play at Vermont.
If you can play at New Hampshire.
If you can play at Boston University.
America East is proud to join the You Can Play project.
It is halftime here in Orono, Maine. We're at the break between Vermont and the Maine Black Bears. Yes, we are in the dead of winter, but it was just a few short weeks ago when the first champions of the school year were crowned. Here's a look at the fall champions from around America East.
At UNH, it was a clean sweep for Stony Brook in cross country. Familiar ground for the women who won their 6th straight title. New Hampshire's Keely McGuire used a big kick to pull away and win the race, but 4 Seawolves finished in the top 10. Led by Olivia Byrne and Cleo Boyd, helping to give the Seawolves the championship. For the Stony Brook men, this was new territory. Sophomore Eric Speakman improved on a 3rd-place finish from a year ago and crossed the line first, paving the way for the Seawolves to win their first ever America East title.
There's a lot of pressure on the women year after year to continue on, and they believe that tradition doesn't graduate. So when they get to conference championship, they understand what it means to do it. For the men, it was fantastic, and to get the win was awesome, and to do both on the one day, which it hadn't been done since I think 2003, was fantastic.
And for the first time in school history, Stony Brook claimed an America East Women's Soccer Championship, knocking off #1 seed Hartford 1-0. Larissa Nish tallied the lone goal in the 13th minute, and the Seawolves made it stand up. Stony Brook became the first 6th seed to win the title, and the first to win 3 road games en route to an America East championship. Stony Brook advanced to the NCAA tournament, losing to 9th-ranked Maryland in the first round. In field hockey, the Great Danes of Albany nailed down their 3rd America East championship in 5 years with a dominant 3-1 win over defending champion and #1 seed UNH. First-team all-conference selection Corinne McConville scored 2 goals, and tourney most outstanding player Daphne Wormelin tallied the game winner, tying a league record with 4 goals and 8 points in the tournament. The Great Danes outshot the Wildcats 19-4, earning the #17 seed in the NCAA tournament, where they would fall to #3 seed Penn State 2-1. It didn't come easy, but #2 seed Binghamton took out #1 Albany in straight sets to claim the America East Volleyball Championship. The Bearcats cruised in the first set, but were down 18-7 in the second and 16-9 in the third, and roared back in both to clinch victory.
Now, and that's it!
Grace Vickers had 10 kills and was named Most Outstanding Player. Binghamton faced #1 overall seed Penn State in the NCAAs and fell in 3 sets. What a finish for the UMBC Retrievers in men's soccer. No goals against for the entire postseason, winning the America East title over UNH in penalty kicks for the second time in the last 3 years. The scoreless game, a nail-biter throughout. New Hampshire's Travis Wara was terrific in net, shutting down UMBC with 7 saves, and the Retrievers' Phil Saunders was his equal and more, taking most outstanding player honors and stopping Ryan McNabb to seal the win.
America East Championship for UMBC.
In the NCAA's 2 more 0-0 games, winning a shootout over Old Dominion. They took North Carolina to penalty kicks before losing 3-2, but it was an amazing run for the Retrievers.
I'm proud of our performance in the playoffs in the NCAA tournament. And in the game against North Carolina, our crowd came down in 3 busloads. And for a conference like the America East, to have their champion go down and play against defending national champions, take over the stadium, it really showed the support that we have here at UMBC and in the America East for soccer.
And we're just a few weeks away from the start of the winter championship season. The America East Swimming and Diving Championships will take place here on the campus of the University of Maine right around Valentine's Day. We're at the break. Halftime between Maine and Vermont. Back with more on our halftime report after this. Everybody has the beach night spirit, some more than others, and some had to dig into the closet. Well, you know, I think the UV factor is very high in here. It is on beach night. Eric Fried, Frank Sullivan back here with you. So we have been given.
Do not put them on me.
No, you put them on yourself. They're prescription, and you'll be able to see fine. Yeah. See, we're part of it too. How do we look? You're not going to put it on?
I'm going to hold them.
Yeah. Just for the record, he's wearing a Speedo underneath the table. You just can't see that right here. Yeah, he's in the full spirit of it. Should we roll the highlights?
Please do.
All right, I can't see anything, so just roll the highlights. Let me know how it goes. Alistair Frazier, we know what he did in the first half, Frank. He was on target.
Well, it's cold outside. This guy was 7 for 8 from the field in a variety of ways. He has proven to be the toughest cover for the Catamounts tonight. His versatility outside, his ability to score inside, this offensive rebounding skill and the finish need to find some answers for all the work that number 15 White is doing in this first half. And Brian Vokel continues to do the little things like breaking down the defense off the dribble, looking to be a passer as men run off screens, and just being real effective in getting into teeth of any defense and setting up his teammates to score.
Vokel and the Vermont Catamounts on top of Maine, 41-36 our score here at halftime. Vermont shooting 57% from the floor in the first half. The Maine Black Bears countering with 51% field goal shooting, and Maine was a +7 in rebounding margin. They had 12 assists on 15 field goals in the first half. It went back and forth. We had 15 lead changes in that first half. So a very entertaining first half between Vermont and Maine. Let's find out what the Black Bears need to do here in the second half as we get ready for half number 2 between Vermont and Maine. Their head coach, Ted Woodward, is joining us right now. And Ted, what did you just tell your team? What are the things you want to see from them here in the second half?
Well, I think we'd do a better job certainly playing defense. Vermont's an awfully good basketball team. We're giving up 57%. That's too high for us. We've got to slow them down here in the second half.
And Ted, how about the 5 for 9 from behind the three-point line and getting half of the offensive boards? How much does that mean to you as an offensive team?
It means a lot. I mean, I think obviously we've got some good balance out there. It's going to be able to open up the floor a little bit, but still got to continue to get stops. It's going to be the key of the game.
Ted, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Ted Woodward, head coach for the Maine Black Bears. He'll go talk to his team. We'll take one more time out. Be back on the start of the second half right after this. Let's take a look at the first half stats presented by Anaconda The Rock. We talked about the good shooting for Vermont and for Maine. Vermont knocked down 4 threes, Maine knocked down 5s. 4 trips to the free throw line for the Catamounts. Points in the paint, advantage for Vermont. And on the scoreboard, advantage for the Catamounts, 41-36. We'll be back for the start of half number 2 right after this.
On my mind with a place to be. Look at me! On the roof with a view of the open sea. Look at me! Anywhere at all, coming close to finding you. We can do anything, anything at all.
There's a place in the Green Mountains where leading scholars push students to reinvent
a complicated world.
Where success comes hard, but is hardly uncommon.
Where people reach across boundaries
and develop the courage that leads to discovery and understanding. Where being curious isn't a curiosity. Where by sitting down to learn,
you stand up to live.
Welcome back inside Alfond Arena, Orono, Maine. It's America East basketball on a Tuesday night. It's going to be well below 0 tonight here throughout the state of Maine, but we are ready. Welcome back inside Alphon Arena. It's America East basketball on a Tuesday night. Vermont and Maine at the half. It's 41-36 Catamounts. The team with a share of first place in America East closed the half with a 13-4 run. Our one-on-one update, Justin Edwards moved to the point here tonight. 7 points, 3 field goals, and Brian Volkel with the 5 assists to go along with his 6 first half points. Well, both coaches talked about defense as they joined us. Chris Markwood handling the duties for Vermont and Ted Woodward for Maine. That would be the emphasis.
Here's some insider information. Anytime a team shoots above 50% event shoot, you got to get better
Slow
defense.
down. I'm writing that down.
Okay.
57% is not.
No, yeah. I think that's pretty apparent. And Black Bears shooting 51%. So defense was the theme, I'm sure, in both locker rooms.
Well, let's see who was listening and who's able to execute. Frazier, tremendous first half. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a good start for Maine.
Just a good first possession by Maine. They dumped the ball into Ali Frazier in the low post to see how the Catamounts are going to guard. Are they going to double team? That time they stayed solid and did not double team Ali in the low post. You can see Black Bears now in a 2-3 zone to start.
Rusin for 3. Volkel offensive rebound. Quick feed to Rugg, who couldn't hit, and it's grabbed by Maine.
Too bad Clancy just rushed that. Brian, a great job on the weak side of the zone, getting the extra possession for the Catamounts.
Original starting 5s out there for both teams. Arabic can't make it, and O'Day pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, nice job by Ethan O'Day on the weak side against Mike Allison, one of the best offensive rebounders on the Maine team, and really one of the better offensive rebounders in the conference. This is where the Black Bears will try to just slow this tempo down, getting out of the gate.
Volkel, Carissimo drives and dishes inside O'Day. Good defense, but a good battle by O'Day for the putback.
You know, just staying with the play. Young players, freshmen like Ethan O'Day, sometimes it takes a while for them to understand that concept. Stay with the play. Excellent job by number 32 in black.
6 points for O'Day, just above his season average. Edwards kicks it over to the shooter.
That's what they want.
Knocked down to 3, and Volkel comes away.
Justin put the ball on the floor. Zarko, a good open shot, just didn't make it. Good steal by John Mensah.
Comes back to take it away for the Black Bears. Just 3 first half turnovers for Vermont. Frazier contested 3 this time.
Good call. Yeah, it was very well contested by Clancy.
Rugg turns to face Frazier. Drives. Defended well by Allison. Volkel. 3-pointer is no good. Volkel. Offensive rebound. The dish inside. Allison the rebound this time.
Second offensive rebound in under 3 minutes for Brian Volkel. Got a good open shot for Camden Rusin. They're so wanting Camden Rusin to get off from behind this 3-point line. Might be pressing just a little bit too much, quite honestly. See, no double team.
O'Day with the block on Frazier. 11 to shoot. Now to Edwards, averaging 17 a game, leading America East. Back for Frazier.
Shot clock's down.
Frazier short. Carissimo with the rebound. Carissimo running it down and hits the brakes. Now Vermont will set things up.
Just got to look at the defense right there, but you can see that's way too easy. The ball got into the middle of the zone too easy. The pass was made to the baseline too easy. They started the possession, the white shirts did, with their hands down, as opposed to aggressively showing a big zone.
O'Day, the dish to the cutting Rugg. Clancy Rugg with 13 in the first half. 15 now for the game. And Vermont has put it out to a 7-point advantage. Frazier gets the rebound. Another 3 on the way. This time it's good. Zarko Valier knocks down his second 3.
That's what he's here to do. Catch and shoot, inside out passing. Zarko, 3 made 3s in the last game against Binghamton. And they're hoping that momentum can continue into tonight.
Carissimo, and a foul called on O'Day as he bumped Edwards. get us to our 16-minute timeout. Comes with 15:50 to go in the second half. Maine trying to come back on their home floor, down by 4.
At the University of Hartford, we are too small to be big and too big to be small. We combine the values and the feeling of a liberal arts college with the breadth of a large university. So there are lots of things to major in, but a very close relationship with your friends and with your faculty. I'm Walt Harrison. Hartford is my school. America East is my conference.
If you can play at Binghamton.
If you can play at Albany.
If you can play at Hartford.
If you can play at Maine.
If you can play at Stony Brook.
If you can play at UMBC.
If you can play at Vermont.
If you can play at New Hampshire.
If you can play at Boston University.
America East is proud to join the You Can Play project.
Good courtside seats here for Vermont and Maine in the 126th meeting all time between the Catamounts and the Black Bears. Stay connected with America East on your iPad, iPhone, or Android mobile phone. Download the America East apps and get instant access to America East athletics. America East on your phone, on your tablet, on the go, all the time. Well, beach night, now that is some unique attire for beach night. I know I'm not voting, but that's got to be a top 3 right there. Top 2? No comment?
Well, in the Masters division is a top 12.
No. Come on. In any division.
I'm in the Masters myself, I can say that.
That's true. Maine basketball out of the timeout. Ben Crink out there defending Frazier, and a turnover.
Again, looking for the double team in the low post, looking for guys cutting to the rim. Unusual first turnover for Ali Frazier. 5 assists tonight. That's his first turnover.
If you haven't seen or heard a lot about Maine basketball, Frazier, it's Alistair Frazier, but Ali for short. Ali Frazier, though, takes you back to some classic boxing matches when you hear it put that way by Frank. Second chance here for Vermont.
Yeah, we just see another offensive rebound in this half for Brian Vocal, getting the Catamounts the extra possession off the miss.
5 offensive rebounds total for Vocal, and a second chance cashed in by Carissimo.
Great job by Sandro, just with a hesitation dribble, getting to the rim. No shot blocker there.
Vermont now 3 of 9 from the floor in the second half, so it's better than in the first half for Maine, but Vermont still on top by 6.
Yeah, we can see the Catamounts have decided not to double team the catch, dig down from the perimeter.
But the shots have been much tougher for Frazier since about 5 minutes to go in the first half.
So they come into the game wanting to double team him on the catch. Now they're playing him straight one-on-one. You can see Brian Vocal again with the dribble, trying to find people on the weak side with his passing ability.
He finds Rugg open for 3. Got it. Clancy Rugg knocks down to 3. He has 18 points, and it's the largest lead of the night for the Catamounts. They're up by 9.
Clancy goes 1 for 3 on threes now for the ball game.
Timeout called by Maine, and we'll take it as well. Vermont on the road and on top of the Black Bears, second half.
It's the classic college campus. It is a physically beautiful place. We have deep roots as a land-grant institution in serving our community, but we are also, almost uniquely, an institution that is also Sea Grant and Space Grant. We're recognized as an incredibly green campus, a place that is committed to the values of sustainability. We really are New Hampshire's university. Mark Huddleston is my name, the University of New Hampshire is my university, and America East is my conference.
Just the time on my mind with a place to be. Look at me on the roof with a view of the open sea. Look at me anywhere at all, coming close to finding you. We can do anything, anything at all.
There's a place in the Green Mountains where leading scholars push students to reinvent
a complicated world.
Where success comes hard, but is hardly uncommon.
Where people reach across boundaries
and develop the courage that leads to discovery and understanding. Where being curious isn't a curiosity. Where by sitting down to learn,
you stand up to live.
Back inside Alphon Arena, Vermont on top of Maine, 50-41. And the tweet of the night, tie game, Frank Sullivan, last possession. Who in America East do you want taking the last shot? Frank, who do you want taking the last shot?
How many timeouts do I have?
Well,
what's the bonus situation?
None. Ball's in play. You got to get it to somebody.
Okay. Well, the nominees would be clearly DJ Irving at Boston University, probably Justin Edwards, who we have here tonight, Michael Black at Albany. All three of them can get to the rim. All three of them are good from the free throw line. Justin, as we see there, can get to the rim. Mike does the same thing. DJ, and probably I'd defer to the senior, Michael Black. He's been around this league for a while. I'll go to the experience factor. The other guy's got a couple years left in him. But Mike Black would be the guy I'd take.
Mike Black is the clubhouse leader for you in a lot of categories. Wasn't that our tweet of the night when we were at Stony Brook? And you went with Mike Black. When in doubt, go with Mike Black. That's okay. I mean, I'm not criticizing. I think that's a good choice.
The numbers do not lie, sir. They do not lie. And he's a clutch player too. But
he is.
You got to like his experience and ability. Not to, with no disrespect to DJ or Justin.
But what Black has done this year to really elevate his game to consideration and being on the short list for Player of the Year in America East. Vokel kicks it back out to Ballou off the turnover and now turned back over.
This is where they're good in the open court.
Edwards defended by Carissimo and a foul called on Sandro Carissimo.
Now then, get in the open court with Justin Edwards. You've got to really try to level him off because he can explode. Watch him in the open court off of this turnover. Good job by John getting the ball ahead. He's got to be leveled. You got to make him go east-west. You can't allow him to get those shoulders past you as he did with Sandro, but that really is easier said than done. He cannot be an aggressive north-south player to his right hand in the open court.
First free throw good for Edwards. 71% free throw shooter. The leader on this team in free throws made and attempted. Makes a couple. Gloger comes into the game as Allison checks out. Here comes Rusin for Vermont as Vokel gets a rest.
This is a critical juncture now for the Black Bears. This is what Coach Woodward has been talking about, the ability to get defensive stops at critical points in the game, and we're at that point right now. They don't want to see this Catamount lead go any higher. They've got to get stops and defensive rebounds or steals.
And they get one here. 2-on-1 back the other way. Lawton to the basket for two.
Good job by Sean Lawton. Good heads up by Justin Edwards. Sean finishing with the left hand. They've been one of the best in the conference in steals all season long, the Black Bears. It's the field goal percentage defense that's been inflated.
Out of the timeout, a couple of turnovers for Vermont, and now making another one as it's whistled against the Catamounts, and Maine will take over again as the momentum starts to turn here at Alphon.
And this is where they've got to capitalize, we talked about. They're second in this conference in steals, the Black Bears. And this is really aggressive play on the defensive end. They've said all season long they love to play fast. It's easier to play fast when you steal, deflect. Tougher when the ball's coming through the net.
Turnover back the other way, and Vermont will go right back on offense.
And again, for the Black Bears, it's important not to get discouraged by the turnover. Continue to play aggressive defensively.
Obama to Ben Krenka.
They've played this half without any personal fouls. Vermont is not getting to the line on them.
Franca goes to the left hand, won't go down, and the rebound comes for Meskna. Again, Maine playing without Xavier Pollard, their starting point guard, third in the conference in assists. Out for tonight's game for a violation of team rules, so the Black Bears getting some time for Lawton here. Edwards is put the point. Blue for Vermont, can't hit the three, and Frazier has a rebound. 7 rebounds to go along with 16 points, but he has not scored in the second half. Frazier with 6 for his first 6 to get Maine started here on their home floor. Edwards trying to work on Elbaum. Spin move, dropped down to Frazier, the extra pass for 2.
Beautiful, cleared out a side for Justin Edwards, put the ball on the floor, and big-to-big extra passing by the Maine front court.
And a timeout called by Vermont. It's a 6-0 run for the Black Bears. Good response by Maine.
Watch just getting into the lane. Alley with the big-to-big extra pass to find Till Gloger, which he needed, but just breaking down the defense and his vision by both players, Alistair Frazier and Justin Edwards, their vision to find the open man. Great possession.
So while the teams talk it over, we remind you, do not miss your team's chance to dance at the 2013 America East Men's and Women's Basketball Championship presented by CEFCU. Join us at CEFCU Arena on the UAlbany campus, March 8th through the 10th. Ticket packages are on sale now. Call 518-442-DANE or visit AmericaEast.com. Well, it's been a game of runs and a game of lead changes here tonight. Right now, Vermont on beach night with the basketball and the three-point game. Grusin trying to get free, comes off the screen, can't knock down the shot. Batted around and grabbed by Frazier.
Yeah, coming out of that timeout, Camden Rusin got the play. The play was for him. Able to go different directions off some screens, just couldn't nail it.
Rusin having a tough night. He's 1 for 8 from the floor, 1 for 5 outside the three-point line. A guy who went for 25, a career high on 9 of 15 shooting in a win against Stony Brook. Whistle gets us to our 12-minute timeout. Vermont on top by 3 in Orono.
America East Lacrosse Championship.
One place.
One place.
One place.
One goal. One goal.
One goal.
When I think about the core values of UMBC, I think about, first and foremost, academic excellence. We are working to help students to be their very best. This is a place for inclusive excellence and innovation. We have students from all around the world who are excelling, who are learning how to compete and cooperate, and most important, who have a sense of self, a purpose. They have a sense of where they want to go in the world. I am Freeman Rabowski. UMBC is my university. America East is my conference.
6-0 run for Maine over the last 2:02, bringing them within 3 of Vermont. More America East basketball coming up this week on ESPN3. Tomorrow we bring you a women's matinee as Stony Brook travels to UMBC for a noon start. And then it's back to men's basketball when New Hampshire hosts Hartford on Thursday night at 7, only on the home of America East basketball, ESPN3. Foul was on Elbaum heading into that last timeout. It's Maine basketball in their home white. John McAllion is back in for the Black Bears, has the ball now, guarded by Kilpatrick. Now Edwards with the drive and a traveling violation. Turnover for Maine, that's number 12 on the Black Bears.
This is something that's plagued them throughout the season. Ball taken away from them with their turnovers. This is for Coach Woodward. He's getting good momentum, as you talked about, Eric. Now they've got to get stops, take care of the basketball.
Carissimo picked up his dribble, gets it out to Vokel.
It's a tough matchup for Till Gloger and Vokel right there. Now they switch. Alistair Frazier has him.
Patrick back to Vokel. Vokel hasn't scored in the second half. Will spin on Frazier, and good defense there by Ali Frazier. 10 on the shot clock for Vermont.
You know, they switched on the play. Till Gloger and Ali Frazier picked up Brian Vokel. The smart Vokel decides to find some space and drive it.
Still Vermont basketball.
This is where Brian Vokel is very good, along this baseline. Watch, he'll step back there for his inbound to get a good look at the floor. You just don't see inbounders go this deep. See that dotted line, the restricted area? You don't see people go that deep on out-of-bounds plays. And it allows him to be a better passer, get a better look at the court. You can see Till Gloger can't put any pressure on him. Too much distance there. He's looking right at all those cutters.
7 on the shot clock, Carissimo. Shot clock winding down. Carissimo so good when the clock is coming down. He couldn't get the shot, but O'Day followed up. He has 8.
Carissimo attracted a crowd as he drove it. Ethan O'Day, recognizing nobody was there to block him out, just gets the nice easy tip in.
Frazier has not scored in the second half at 16 first half points. Got caught in the air. Good defense by Vermont, and here comes Vokel with numbers. Little drop to Kilpatrick, back to Vokel. Couldn't finish, but Kilpatrick cleans it up.
Kilpatrick deferred to Brian Vokel and gave it back, saying, no, you're supposed to shoot it, not me. And the freshman gets the finish, Brendan Kilpatrick.
How many times has Brian Vokel heard that from his teammates in his 3 years at Vermont? You were supposed to shoot it, not me.
The freshman will learn.
Approaching 10 minutes to play second half. Here's the double team for Frazier, and O'Day takes it away. Help from Vokel.
That's the second time that Brian Vokel has come from the weak side and stole that pass on the baseline.
Carissimo still a lid on it for Rusin, and a foul called on Vermont.
Ethan O'Day just a little bit too aggressive with rebounding displacement right there, looking for that tip-in. But watch this steal coming from the back end. This is a new look that they've done in the second half. You know, when you put that ball out as Frazier did, Brian Vokel came from the weak side and deflected it. That's twice in this half that he's done that.
O'Day goes to the bench. That's 3 personal fouls on the freshman. Kicking the corner, an open look. 4-3.
Got to get one. Justin Edwards had a double high ball screen. He ignored it and drove to the baseline and found Zarko in the long corner for a great catch and shoot.
Valjuravic now with 9 points, 3 of 8 outside the three-point line.
This is a big three-point shooting night for the Black Bears.
Rusin dropped it down. Vermont couldn't get it as Kilpatrick missed it, and now Umaine in a game of runs coming back with Edwards for 2.
Again, the same thing. He'll absorb contact. You've got to level him off in the open court, or at least get him to drive it to his left and not his right hand. And Justin, again, that great ability to finish to contact.
Rugg sets the screen for Carissimo. The jumper, he was fouled. 2 free throws coming for Sandro Carissimo.
You know, you never want to foul a jump shooter. Sandro on that pull-up now will get to the line. This is where the Black Bears are got to stay together on the defensive end. Talk about what they're doing in conversion defense. Make sure they get their matchups. You just put a very good free throw shooter on the line. Never want to foul the jump shooter.
A little bit of talking going on between the two teams. I'm watching Vokel and Edwards right now. You saw them a moment ago. They're standing next to each other on the lane.
It's interesting when you have that many international players. Do they know how to talk American trash talk?
Well, I think
he's Canadian, I know.
That's the universal language, though.
But 2 high-level competitors have the highest respect for each other.
2 free throws for Sandro Carissimo, 82% on the season, 4th in the conference. 9 minutes to play. It's been a good one here at Alfond Arena. Orono, Maine, 4-point lead for Vermont. Maine has the ball. Edwards averaging 17 a game, the leading scorer in America East, to the basket for 2.
You know, again, he's able to get to his right hand. He's able to dribble to the middle of the court. And again, that ability to be creative with his finishes.
That's the best way to answer some talk coming from an opponent sometimes, too. That's the silencer. Carissimo Got it.
Good job by Sandro. They switched on the ball screen. Alistair Frazier picked him up. Nice pull up by Sandro.
Back to a 4-point game. 12 points for number 12. Edwards back to it.
Oh, man.
Count it. And the foul.
Again to his right hand in the right slot. And an uncanny ability to finish. Watch, you got to get it to his left. And we've got to help out higher than that. You can see there was a little bit of help there, but they had a 3-point shooter in the corner. You see 21, Camden Rusin could only help so much because Zarco was in the corner. The help had to come from the weak side.
So Edwards, the sophomore, a chance to finish off the 3-point play. 15 points now. Leading scorer in the conference at 17 a game. $16 for Edwards, 16 for Frazier. 1 point Vermont lead. Franca on the floor till Patrick checks out.
This is where the Black Bears can be aggressive. They've only got 1 team foul in this half. This is where Coach Woodward's talk about the critical stops that they haven't gotten in recent games. This is where we just get a holding right there by John Mensner as he puts his hand up. He held Brian Vokel as he cut off that baseline screen. Has to be happy, Coach Woodward, with the effort that he's getting tonight. They've got to make some critical plays here down the stretch.
Carissimo, no. Allison into the game with the rebound.
Break for the Black Bears. Open jumper for Sandro Carissimo.
You can tell Edwards wants it right now, but he finds an open man for 3, and it's short from a good 3-point shooter. Vokel stepped on the baseline as he tried to save it. Maine basketball, and the crowd getting into it as well. One of the biggest crowds of the year here at Alfond Arena. It'll be Maine basketball when we come back inside of 8 minutes to play. 1-point game. Vermont on top of Maine by 1. It'll be Maine basketball after this timeout. America East and You Can Play are committed to ensuring equality, respect, and safety for all athletes without regard to sexual orientation or gender identity. Visit youcanplayproject.org for more information. Alistair Frazier was the star of the first half for Maine. Justin Edwards has starred here in the second half, Frank.
Just a terrific floor game, and most significant, getting to the basket, absorbing rotating defenders with contact, the ability to finish and get to the line. There's not many conferences where the leading scorer takes over a point guard role and still finds a way to get his points, which he's done tonight. The Maine Black Bears have 17 assists, only 14 turnovers.
Out of the timeout, let's see what Maine could do. There have been 15 lead changes in this game. Edwards inside with the left hand for 2 more.
How about that? They made him play to his left hand, and he got to the rim with his left hand dribble and finished with his left hand. Terrific play coming out of the timeout.
First time Maine has been in front since 4:03 left to go in the first half when they led 32-31. And a foul called on the Black Bears.
They can challenge near the rim. Again, that's only their third foul of the half. Look at Brian Vokel making Justin Edwards go to his left hand. A rotating defender. He eludes him and he gets to the basket.
First personal on Frazier, and it will send Ben Krenka to the free throw line. Just 3 of 4 at the free throw line this season.
Important right now, free throw set as we see Trey Blue come into the lineup for the Catamounts free throw set. You want to get that inside position, especially with Brian Vokel, so there's no offensive rebound by the Catamounts.
Krenka comes through with 2 free throws. Another lead change puts Vermont on top.
It's a senior on the road coming through with 2 made free throws.
As Frank mentioned, Trey Blue back on the floor. He's out there with Carissimo, Vokel, Krenka, and Rugg. That's the 5 right now for Vermont. Team tied for first in America East. Now Edwards and Vokel been talking. Edwards can't hit the 3, but Frazier an offensive rebound.
Beautiful fake by Zarco. For 2. Ali Frazier, good job. Off the offensive rebound and looking outside behind the three-point line. Nothing there, but still got a very good shot out of it.
Strong response for Maine here at Alfond Arena after a disappointing loss. Last time out, they've come up big against team tied for first in America East. On top by 1, and now a foul called on Maine. 18 lead changes tonight, and Rugg has a chance to make it 19.
Clancy Rugg proving to be elusive in that low post with a little bit of move past Mike Allison.
Rugg makes the first. 19 points now for Clancy Rugg to match his career and season high. Has 19 for a second consecutive game. Krenka checks out. O'Day back in.
He is the team's best at getting to that free throw line 5 times a game. Already at the free throw line over 100 times this season. Knows how to play the contact, Clancy Rugg.
New career high for Clancy Rugg. He has 20, and Vermont back in front. Edwards for 3.
Wow. Those last 2 possessions, they gave him a ton of room and tried to force him to his left hand. He responded in a big, big way with that open three-pointer.
Can Maine get a stop on defense? Carissimo works with O'Day. O'Day's in trouble. Rugg trying to help him out. Throws it up. Won't go down, but he'll go to the free throw line. And a whistle. I think it's just the officials trying to separate players as it's gotten a little hot. We've shown a little talking. Frazier, hands up, I'm good.
You know, it's that point of the game, a little scrum near the rim right there, and just a little bit of extracurricular going for that offensive board, and just a lot of little elbows in tight.
It's Vokel in the middle of things, so trying to stir the pot a little bit. Allison gets whistled for the foul, so here's Clancy Rugg at the free throw line. 3 fouls now on Allison. Crowd making some noise here at Alfond Arena, the largest crowd of the year here for a Maine home game, 2,265. They came for beach night. They've been entertained by a pretty good game as Rugg makes 1 of 2. 21 now for Rugg. 21 for Edwards, who has the ball.
Everything is going to be started by Justin Edwards. You can see they're giving a high ball screen. Last time a double high ball screen. Let him play.
Drop down to Frazier.
Good catch by Ali. Nice finish.
First points of the second half for Frazier, now at 18. Edwards and Frazier, the top scoring duo in America East, and they're the top scorers for Maine here tonight. Carissimo answers back with a 3.
A heads-up play by Sandro. They set a ball screen. The defender on the ball screener stepped back into the lane. Sandro with a pull-up, the right answer to that style of defense on the high pick and roll. As we see the Catamounts get into the 1-3-1, first time in the second half.
Tied at 66. Edwards, hot pass inside Allison. Frazier there, clean it up.
What hands around the basket. And a good finish off the glass. A good job against that 1-3-1 on the change of defense by Vermont.
Well, Ted Woodward wanted to see more from his team on the defensive end. Now he's going to get a foul called on Meskna, and that will be his 4th personal foul. Vermont shooting in this half, Frank, 34% from the field. Here's the work for Maine.
Excellent job by Alistair Frazier. You can see again his ability. This is a big man to stay balanced, not travel, keep the ball high, use the backboard to finish. That's a seasoned veteran player around that basket.
Ball was tipped, and it will be Vermont basketball.
They said, watch Brian Vokel. He'll step back now, so you won't be able to tip it. And it forces the defender. You can see John has to go back to the rim, and they don't get any pressure on the inbound.
Thrown out top to Clancy Rugg. Some great performances here tonight. Frazier and Edwards for Maine. Rugg for Vermont. Vokel with the basketball. The pass to Rugg. Jump ball call, possession arrow, Vermont.
Great job by Ali Frazier, not buying the pump fake by Clancy Rugg in tight. Got his hand on top of the ball. Watch, he will not buy the pump fake right there and gets his hand on top of the ball from behind Alistair Frazier and forces that jump ball.
15 to shoot as Carissimo looks for the screen from Rugg. Vokel, Clancy Rugg, 3 on the way. No good, and last touch by Vermont. Vokel touched it last. It's Maine ball.
Yeah, and he didn't get his hands on it because of a nice job by John McCallion right there with the block out on Brian Vokel. So John McCallion coming off the bench, recognizing that's a guy you got to get a body on anytime Vermont shoots it.
McCallion scored a total of 11 points in 10 games this season, but he's got extended run here tonight.
Yeah. Again, the 1-3-1, the change of defense, trying to slow down the rhythm of the offensive flow, but it should be money.
Leaves an open 3 that won't go down for Valjerevic, and a rebound for Vermont.
Well, if you're the Black Bears, you like your possessions against that 1-3-1. Have gotten good shots.
Vokel driving, spinning inside, but a traveling violation call. Turnover for Vermont. That's the 10th turnover for the Catamounts tonight. Inside of 4 minutes to play, 2-point Maine lead.
You can see Justin Edwards getting a good look at the defense.
Gets it back from Frazier. Kicks it in a corner. That one was blocked. Grabbed underneath and now rolling out of bounds. It will be Vermont basketball when we come back to Al Fond Arena. Don't go anywhere. It's been a good one all night long. 3:39 to go here in the second half. 2-point Maine lead.
I think the University of Maine is exquisitely positioned to help you find your way with world-class faculty. We have a new strategic plan that's just been implemented at the university. It's called the Blue Sky Project. And our vision from that plan is to aspire to be the most student-centered and community-engaged of the American research university. There is no greater, more unique place than the University of Maine. I'm Paul Ferguson. The University of Maine is my school. America East is my conference.
If you can play at Binghamton.
If you can play at Albany.
If you can play at Hartford.
If you can play at Maine.
If you can play at Stony Brook.
If you can play at UMBC.
If you can play at Vermont.
If you can play at New Hampshire.
If you can play at Boston University.
America East is proud to join the You Can Play project.
America East Lacrosse Championship.
One place.
One place.
One place. One goal. One goal. One goal.
See the score by halves. And it's a lead right now for Vermont. beg your pardon, for Maine 68-66. Don't miss your team's chance to dance at the 2013 America East Men's and Women's Basketball Championship presented by CEFCU. Join us at CEFCU Arena on the U-Albany campus March 8th through the 10th. Ticket packages are on sale now. Call 518-442-DANE or visit AmericaEast.com. It's Vermont ball, Maine lead. Trey Blue trying to put Vermont on top with a three. Can't get it. Rugg looking for the basketball. Edwards has it for the Black Bears with 3:23 to go. Edwards is fouled, and he'll shoot 2 free throws.
You know, did an excellent job on the floor, getting to the rim to his right hand again. What a game these two players have had. They're currently 17 out of 27. As we can see, Justin has done the job with the floor game, being pushed over to the point. Allie Frazier with the rebounding game, 10 boards right now.
2 assists shy of a triple-double for Frazier. Edwards can't hit the first.
Yeah, this will be a huge growth game for the Black Bears if they can pull this one off.
1 of 2 for Justin Edwards. 22 points. Scored 30 at Northeastern this season. Was 11 of 12 from the field in that game. Maine with a 3-point lead.
16 fouls by the Black Bears. Next one on the floor will put them in the bonus.
Vermont shooting 33% from the floor in the second half. Maine shooting 50% from the floor in the second half. Not many teams can shoot 51% for a game like Maine has done against Vermont's defense here. Inside of 3 minutes to play is Carissimo in trouble. Rugg, open 3 on the way. No good. Frazier in position for the rebound. Justin Edwards drives and throws up a quick shot on Vauquel, ill-advised, and now Vermont comes back in a one-possession game with Vauquel on the push. Drop back for Rugg. Maybe a little hesitant to take a 3 right now.
You can see a very small lineup on the court now.
Carissimo for 3.
Again, that's the right shot, the right answer, given the way they've guarded that ball screen. Not using a hedge defender, giving Sandro the pull-up shot on the other side of that ball screen. Now 2 high ball screens for Justin.
2 minutes to play here at Alfond Arena. Black Bears have lost 3 in a row, trying to even up in America East play at 3-3. 3-pointer on the way is no good, and Vauquel has the rebound. Another opportunity here for Vermont. They haven't hit a field goal since 5:45 to go here in the second half, and they'll talk it over with the timeout.
We talked about earlier in the open, this is a real important test for the Catamounts. They've got 3 straight games on the road as they finish up the first round of America East play. And for Coach Becker, they have proven, as they did last year, to be road warriors.
They will be at Albany on Saturday. The Danes are 16-4. As we take a look ahead for Vermont with 12 wins on the season. At Albany, we'll have that for you on ESPN3. And then at Hartford after that before heading back to Patrick Gym to take on the UNH Wildcats. And it's right back on the road at UMBC. What will they do here? Will they look for the 3 out of the timeout? It's been there for them.
Well, they've been an excellent team all season long, as we've talked about, at getting to the free throw line. So I think they'll put themselves in a position where they can go inside and get the contact. And Clancy is one of the best on their team at getting to the free throw line, as Mike Allison trying to figure out what went wrong there. They ran a tight curl around him, opened up some space. Clancy Rugg at the line again.
7th team foul on Maine, so 1 and 1 for Clancy Rugg. 71% free throw shooter on the season. He's 6 for 8 tonight. Can't make the front end, and a rebound for Maine. Vermont's had some chances. They missed a couple of open 3s. They missed an opportunity at the free throw line, and now Maine, let's see if they try to work some clock here with 1:23 to go. Edwards Worked around, the three on the way is no good, and a rebound for Carissimo. Rusin back into the game, has Rugg with him, and to the basket goes Rusin. First points in the second half, 5 for the game, and it's a 1-point game.
With pressure, terrific execution of the 2-on-1 fast break.
It had been a struggle for Rusin. He was 1 for 8 before finishing that break.
You can see they're just going to isolate the two best players on the right side of the court and let them make decisions and put two jump shooters opposite. John Mensah, Zarco, and again, finish the possession, getting it back to Justin. Let him play with Alistair Frazier.
10 on the shot clock, 40 on the game clock is Edwards. So strong in the second half. The floater, too strong. Allison pulls it down, and it's grabbed by Rugg.
Yeah, expose the ball on the putback.
Shot clock is off. Timeout called by John Becker for Vermont with 26 seconds to go. Vermont down by 1, but they have the basketball. Watch at the bottom of the screen as Meskna thought it was in, but Vermont took off the other way with Rusin scoring.
Just a good conversion of going from defense to offense. They create a crowd for Justin Edwards, get a good shot block right there, and while thinking about what had just happened to the guys in white, the guys in black push the thing down in a perfect 2-on-1 fast break.
So who's the go-to here?
Well,
is it Sandro Carissimo, who has made so many clutch shots for this Vermont team and wants the ball when the game's on the line? Will it be Vokel? Will it be Rugg, who has a career-high 21? The crowd here making some noise as Maine looks for a stop on defense. Shot clock is off. Here's Vokel.
Same play, run the curl play around. Clancy Rugg, Mike Allison, a better job that time in terms of guarding.
15 to go, Carissimo, Vermont down by a point, the floater too strong, knocked out of bounds, it's Maine ball. 10.5 to go, Maine by 1. And a timeout is called by the Black Bears. It'll be their ball on the baseline.
Well, for Coach Becker, they ran the same play. Hard driving lane right there at the finish. Just a real good job swarming the weak side of that backboard.
$17 fouls on Vermont. So if they don't get the quick turnover here, you get the quick foul and see if Maine can convert with the one-on-one.
Absolutely, they could go to their full court on the ball press. Maine should have all their best free throw shooters at this point in the ball game. And they've got to be solid with the basketball as the trap happens. And get good spacing. Don't crowd the dribblers. So John McCallion coming off the bench now. You can see Coach Woodward talking to him for instructions right now.
Edwards, a 71% free throw shooter. Frazier at 67%. McCallion getting into the mix. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line this season. Meskna at 60%. 10 seconds left. Don't know if Vermont can be too picky, but we'll see what happens here, first of all, defensively.
The Black Bears have 2 timeouts left, so if there's any problem inbounding the ball, they should absorb the timeout. Catamounts have 1 timeout left. You can see they're choosing not to guard the basketball. John McCallion, they're going to play the 5-on-4, 5 defenders, 4 offensive players right here to try to deny the pass.
And a foul called quickly, and it'll be Valjerovic going to the free throw line. He is 3 for 4 from the free throw line this season and hasn't been there tonight. Getting the first start of his Maine career this evening. Zarco.
You can see Coach Woodward choosing to show confidence in Zarco right now, not putting anybody up on the free throw line. He's going to shoot this with none of his friends in the neighborhood. As we see, the Catamounts will have 4 players there. Maine is on the other side of half court right now.
Vermont has a timeout remaining. If there's a miss, it rattles in for the first. 12 points for Zarko, one off his career high.
And if he makes, there'll be a quick substitution to slow everything down.
Two-point lead for Maine, 9.6 to go. Zarko comes through, matching his career high with 13 points, 2 free throws with 9.6 to go, and Vermont uses its final timeout, needing a three-pointer to force overtime. So it's a full timeout. We have a chance to take a look at what's ahead for these Maine Black Bears, and we talked about at the top of the telecast, Frank, they've got a big challenge at Stony Brook on Saturday, and it's a rivalry game against UNH before back-to-back road games. When Maine is on their game, they're good. They can play and beat anybody in this conference. And they've been on their game here tonight.
And we've seen it with Frazier, and we've seen Alistair Frazier, and we've seen it with Justin Edwards tonight, how terrific they are.
Vermont 5-1, Maine 2-3 in conference play. Still 9.6 to go.
So this is very interesting for the Black Bears. They were victimized by a three-point end of game the other night against Binghamton. That was on a made, so I'm sure they're talking about a couple things. Number one, do not foul a jump shooter. Do not foul, and specifically don't foul the desperation three-point shooter as he tries to go into your body. So stay vertical, stay big, contest every shot.
No pressure in the backcourt yet. Here comes Carissimo. Vermont down by 3. Carissimo dribbles out of trouble. 4 seconds to go. Out to Rugg. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. Edwards knocks it on the play. There's the horn, and Maine has won. .22 points for Justin Edwards. 15 coming in the second half, but it was the Maine defense in the second half that made the difference, and even right to the final play.
Yeah, 2 great contests. One done Carissimo. Watch the contest here as he picks up his dribble. Watch the second contest there by Frazier. Did not foul the three-point shooter. Surrounded the rim defensively. And Justin Edwards bats it out of bounds. Boy, they can exhale as they walk off this court. Biggest win of the season, clearly, for the Black Bears.
The Maine Black Bears, in front of the largest crowd of the year here at Alphon Arena, come through with the victory. They were down by 5 at halftime. They win by 3. Once again, the final score, Maine 71 and Vermont 68. Join us tomorrow for America East women's basketball. Stony Brook takes on UMBC at noon. Then Thursday, it's men's hoop on ESPN3 as Hartford takes on UNH at 7. This has been a presentation of ESPN.